What's up, guys, and welcome to Know Everything. Today's topic is going to be a very hot topic: Panama Papers. I was reading a lot of articles, and people have made it really complex, man. I don't know what, like, people are like, Panama Papers is so much, so much, so much. I'll just get to the point, man. I'll just get to the point. I'll just get to the core. A lot of people don't want to put money in their bank accounts in their country. Why? Because they've been taxed high. Why? Because they've been, in certain countries like China and all, the tax is too high. So people don't want to put money in their own country. So what they do? Simple. They just stack it abroad. They stack it abroad. That's it. Or else what they do? They buy companies abroad. And that's how, the government doesn't know where your money is gone, and so they can't charge you much of the tax. So this is what is the Panama Papers: stacking cash abroad, buying companies abroad, buying various insurance companies abroad, and all those things. This is what is the Panama Papers. So let us come to the point. I'll talk in a very Indian perspective. What is Panama Papers? Simple. Panama Papers, if you see in India in 2004, RBI actually set up a very strong law saying that only $2,500 can be stacked abroad. In the sense, you can stack it abroad in property, shares, debenture, education, whatever you want to spend it, you can spend it. But later they increased it to $250,000, which was quite very, very high. It was very high, and you won't believe it. They made a very strange law saying that, look, you can do whatever you want with your cash, it's none of my business. But you can't start up a company with that money. This is a very strict law given to the Indians who are, transferring cash abroad. Then what did the Indian chartered accountants do? The chartered accountants, you can't fool them, man. Whatever law you bring up, they'll find some, way to overcome it. They were like, okay, RBI was like, you told us not to start a company, why not I buy a company instead? And this is what happened. They started buying companies. Many people went there, they invested a huge amount and started buying companies, which was, really strange. And, Indian government says you can't take more than $250,000. Doesn't mean that you're going to take only that much. Obviously, Indians are going to take more illegally. So this is what many countries did. I'm just talking about the RBI in India. Many, central banks in their own country started fixing, how can I tell you, limits that you can take only this much. But many people started stacking their money abroad because they didn't want to pay tax. Because if they stack their money abroad, they don't need to pay tax. Plus, they just got to pay a very meager amount as commission to the person who's holding the amount. Various banks who pay a very small amount of commission for stacking the amount back in the banks in their different countries. So this is what they did. And many huge companies like Mosaic and all those other and Shell companies, what they did, they acted as an intermediate for converting the ownership of one company to another. In the sense, like, instead of just going and stacking up cash in banks where you get very less interest, people now started to stack up huge amount of how can I tell you, amount of cash in different companies. They started transferring ownership. Like I heard, like Amitabh Bachchan, let's take an example. If Amitabh Bachchan has stacked over $2-3 million, instead of just keeping it in a bank, he would have, what he would have told, he would have invested in a company. He would have bought a company in a different name. No one knows what name that is. Okay, he would have bought it in that name. He would have got the ownership of that company through other business which acts as an intermediate. So Shell and other companies are just acting as an intermediate between, how can I tell you, between the people who want to stack cash abroad and the businesses who want to, and people who want to sell their business. So they're acting as an intermediate. So these people started converting companies. They, like factories, they were like, every day more than 3,000, 4,000 companies were converted, ownership were converted. This led to the Panama Papers. A name came out, all the name one fine day came out. Like, these many names were involved in keeping cash outside. These many people have bank accounts outside and all that stuff. And this stuff Papers came to existence. This is what is the Panama Papers, guys. Simple tax evasion. Setting up companies abroad. That's it. Simple, very simple. That's it. Thanks for me, Adnan. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.